So, today's game is TD Mech Defense. It is, as you probably guessed from that name, a tower defense, which is trying to emulate sort of mechs and mechs attacking. The description here at the bottom is: in a fading world, the spark of machinery is a light in the dark. While the steam of the old world clouds the sky, your machinations are all that stops it. And it is a sort of a cards-based tower defense. So it's a little hint of my new enjoyment card games with my old enjoyment tower defense games. So I thought, what could go wrong? This is for a game jam, the Cluj CLUJ game jam, which is currently accepting ratings on the entries, but it's only doing that for the next 2 hours as I record this. So by the time you watch this, it's probably stopped. But yeah, the dev is Nico is Dreaming. The game jam is a Romanian game jam, so I don't know if this developer is Romanian. Either way, it's a pretty good looking game. Let's jump in and take a look. There don't seem to be any credits for developers. I'm going to leave the music on for this time, but let's see what happens. Right, let's run this great game. It's made with Unity. Let's maximize it out. Are we still seeing things? Yes. The visual bugs. Yeah, he did say this. The web build doesn't work terribly well in Chrome. I'm running it in Firefox, and it seems to be running okay, except that the options is grayed out. So I'm guessing that wasn't finished in time for the game jam. Hopefully he'll do some work on it afterwards. But let's have a play and see where we go with it. We only have access to the one deck at the moment. Apparently there's a Gatling deck and a farm deck, and we're playing the base deck. And this is our play space, which seems to be a very wet field, and we can place structures on these slots, which are like our defensive slots, I guess. So I'll pop a tower there and a tower there. Those are our standard firing towers, and then we have farms, which earn us credits, so we can plant a farm there. And that will slowly sort of have a progress bar that gives us credits. We don't use the credits to build with. We seem to be able to build anything we want as long as there are slots to place it on. Put this here just to help out. Then we also have these walls that we can place anywhere. So the walls don't need to go just on the structures. They just go somewhere, and they're coming from that direction now. I need a tower on this side. There's one. Place some more walls. So yeah, so each item has a sort of amount of time slots that will trigger a cooldown on, and then I think the exhaust mechanic means that it extends the cooldown. Unfortunately, I don't know because I don't have any sort of tutorial or anything along those lines. There's some range there. There's some range there as well. Okay, they're coming from that side. Let's slap another farm down. And let's boost some damage. Oh, they're coming from both sides, okay. Put some more sacrificial structures in the way. Okay, so you can see this is the deck that we have here. That we are building from. Put some sacrificial walls in front of these guys as well. I don't think I'm going to get another farm in time, so let's pop another tower down. And that's it. That's the end of our wave. And then we get to pick some cards. This is like a fast firing thing. I've never seen the artillery one before. So there's interesting cards that we can then add to our deck. And we seem to get multiple deck entries of it added to our deck. I don't know if it reshuffles it. I have no idea what this stuff is at the top here. I think these are just upgrades that we can then, add to our existing towers? I don't know, maybe. Anyway, so that's enough gameplay. I think I've shown it enough. Let us escape out and reload, just make the music go away. And yeah, so that's the gameplay. It looks like a fun little tower defense. Interesting design. I like the idea of these slots where it's the only place where you can place your structures in some kind of flooded plain that we're fighting on, I guess. I don't know if it's meant to be the ocean because it looked like the attackers are walking rather than traveling by boat. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, so that's the gameplay. If you're only here to see the gameplay, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment because engagement is good for both you and me, as I always say. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If, however, you are here for the critique, then the critiques are as follows. First of all, the UI. Let's hop back in and have a look at it. Made in Unity. It's made by Raincoat Games. I'm not sure if Nico's Dreaming is the guy for it. I'm just going to mute the tab. Yeah, the UI is... I mean, it's interesting. He's got this weird naming thing with a couple of slashes. I suppose it's meant to be like a folder or something like that because they're mechs, so it's techie. The buttons are kind of... There's no mouse over action on them. Yeah. And obviously that's grayed out. I mean, the UI is functional. It's not really themed very well. I'm not sure about this background here, this swirly thing. It's a bit meaningless and messy. I guess you probably added it in just to make it look dynamic in some way. I think like a metal plate, static background would be nicer for this. Yeah. I give half marks to the UI. It's kind of there. It needs a lot more cleanup and polish. The sounds are fine. Obviously, lack of sound controls is sucky. You need to be able to turn the music off. The firing wasn't really much firing sounds. There were explosions as the enemies got killed. That was okay. Could do with being a bit bassier. The art, I mean, the game looks pretty good. I found this interesting, this kind of wet plain, good sort of water effect there, and rain. Yeah, we have these towers. It's defense against mechs rather than defense by mechs. Stick a farm in there. We do need some walls up. Yeah, I mean, can we see what they look like? Can we maximize this out? It doesn't really grow any bigger, unfortunately. I mean, this is supposed to be walking mechs, I guess. Yeah, they look fine. Yeah, they're enemies in the tower defense game. As long as you can kind of see that they're an enemy thing, it's fine. Let's reload that. Yeah, the art again. I'll give it sort of. I mean, I suppose 80% marks. It's a little fine detail. It doesn't really go to the theme, but it looks fine. It looks entirely functional. It's still a fun game to play, as it is. The game feeling. Well, in terms of responsiveness, the game was fine. I figured out fairly quickly what I needed to do, despite the lack of tutorial or any kind of instructions. This, as I always say, any information that's in the kind of the Unity page needs to be in the game. That should be the game that tells you how to play it. There's the sort of the play instructions, which don't really help that much. Doesn't explain what the slots are or anything like that. But yeah, it was fairly straightforward to anybody who's played a tower defense game. I think people who are new to tower defense games will probably be very lost as to what's going on. I did like the way it looked with the cards on the side and the cards out that you select, and the cooldown visually was very obvious, although I didn't understand what it was doing or what was going on there for a while. Yeah, I mean it was fine, and obviously the big thing missing is that there's no real storyline here. I mean, what the hell is going on? Why is the world fading? Why is machinery this light in the dark? Why are steam mechs, I suppose they're supposed to be, because they have big clouds of smoke coming out of them? Why are they attacking? Why am I fighting them? Um, just where is the storyline here? Why do I care what's going on? I feel that adding storyline and really does elevate a game to a whole new level with minimal effort. There's not much effort required into giving your game some kind of context. You require very little dev time to do it. I don't know. I like to write, so maybe that's the problem there. The problem there is that it's easy for me to write and harder for me to write code. Whereas this is a developer, or I don't know, a development team. They have a studio name. Um, yeah. This guy got the blue overlay in Firefox, which I didn't seem to get. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe there's a single dev here, so nobody's kind of writing the story or any kind of that context for them. It would also be interesting to know who did the art and the sounds. Um, yeah, but yeah, it needs a storyline. It needs context. I'm hoping this dev is going to work on it after the game jam. I think there is the potential, the framework of a fantastic game here. A really nice, interesting tower defense. Yeah, some more animation work perhaps in the attackers. Obviously, the quality of life, controls of sound, and all that kind of thing. It seems to be having some bugs for the WebGL version. I don't know if the download is a little bit better. Um, and yeah, obviously the context storyline. Let's fill it in. What's going on here? Give it some lore, because that really pulls people in, makes people want to play it, and it's a good way to elevate the same game from here as a bit of a puzzle to play to here as a real game with story. It really upgrades it. Anyway, that's my opinion on that. Come give it some love. If you are quick enough to rate it, the game jam, give it some ratings if you think it's worth it. I think it is. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.